Hey guys, it's Sonia and Matt with Junk Monkey Paint Company. Thank you for being here. We are excited to host today's DIY project right here on Home Talk, the world's largest DIY online community. Let's give it up. Whoop, whoop. Tell me, guys, where you are watching from as you are tuning in right now, because our community goes around the globe and back again. And of course, Home Talk is the world's largest DIY online community serving up home and gardening ideas. Now, I'm not a gardener, but you know what I am? I'm looking at my cat. My cat is going to be the other special guest here today. We got our lovely mirror. Oh my gosh, that's really going to be the, you know what? The cat really is the guest, okay? You might meet Stanley here in a little bit, but yes, we're going to work on this thrift store mirror that I found here for all of $18. So I started to say that I'm not a gardener, but I am a painter. And when I saw this mirror, I'm like, ooh, I know what I could do with this piece, okay? Come take a look at her right here. You sound like you were going to say something. Are you getting excited about this mirror? Matt's really good at knowing the ages of stuff. How old do you think this is?
20s, 30s.
20s, 30s. Now, I put some painter's tape down here. It actually has a beveled edge. That's always a good clue, right? That it's a very old mirror. And for $18, guys, like seriously, I got to show you. And they had on it written $18 as is, okay?
Because it's got some
issues, that's okay. And listen, I don't even need to have tissues for these issues because I love it. I do love the character of pieces that I get that have scratches, have dents, have like parts where like, I don't know, like old plaster, the veneers peeling off, because it plays into the look that I love to do, which is, say it with me, shabby chic, shabby style. Honestly, whether you like shabby, country, rustic, primitive, farmhouse, don't you agree that it pretty much all points and all pretty much like, yeah, it points to the same thing, right? So call it what you want. At the end of the day, I am going to turn this into just like a really nice, distressed, time-worn look on this piece, all right? Now, it's what I call brownie frowny. We're going to give that brown, turn that frown upside down to the power of paint. And I've been playing with some ideas. I think I'm going to go with my vintage white here. All these drips merely show where the fun has been. I think this was a can that exploded, but we are gonna use it till the cows come home. We're gonna make use of every single drop. Anybody else out there like that with their paints? You get it all, you gotta use it all, right? So the other thing I have is a shabby chip brush. This is just a hard bristle, natural bristled brush. And because the bristles are so hard, what's gonna happen is when I dip this into the paint and then I brush over here, you're gonna see what happens. It's not gonna give me complete coverage, okay? There you go, Stanley. Are you excited for this, buddy? Are you excited? All right, I think he's more excited about the chipmunks at the back window.
He's trying to make his great escape.
He is.
Yeah.
He enjoys watching projects with us. So it's Sonia, Matt, and Stanley, and this lovely piece of furniture. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. A lot of you guys will message and say, well, Sonia, what do you clean with? So I've already cleaned this piece. I like to clean my pieces well before I paint, give it at least 15, 30 minutes, because remember, wood is porous and I don't want it to be wet and mess my paint job up, okay? If I have an idea in my mind, the last thing I wanna do is put my paint down and then it react with a cleaner. I never use any oily cleaners because remember, oil, this is water-based, oil and water doesn't mix, right? This is a cleaner that I found along the way that I positively love. It's called Crud Cutter, and you can get this at a lot of places that sell cleaners. So I spray it on, wipe it off, and we are good to go. The other thing I used on here was painter's tape, which never use Scotch tape or, duct tape or anything like that on your furniture, because the longer it stays, when you go to pull it off, you're gonna notice that it's gonna take the finish with it, right? All right, this is the part that we get excited about, okay, guys? You have been waiting for this, the part where you put your first little bit of paint down. I'm very gently doing this right now. Do you see that? Do you want to come in, Matt, for the close-up, the satisfying close-up?
I'm already there.
You're there? Yes, right? So the shabby chip brush doesn't give me full coverage, and I honestly don't want full coverage. It's a way to cheat because now I don't really have to distress with a sand pad. And this thing is so old, I really don't want to distress it because I don't want any more of this beautiful stuff, this ornate detailing to fall off and crack off. Like over here, if you see, if you want to show them that over there, they can get an idea that, it's so old, we don't want that to fall off, right? So this is going to be a really quick flip, and I hope it empowers you guys to know the power of paint and how easy it can be, because no, I don't have to sand or strip or any of that stuff or prime it. I'm just grabbing a brush and going bananas with our chalky style Junk Monkey original recipe paint, which makes it really, really easy to do this, guys. All right, I stirred this up. That's the other thing. Always stir your paints. And now let's go ahead and do this. What do you think, Matt? You think this is going to look good in our dining room?
Of course it will.
Me and Matt, we always joke about this. Well, I joke. He doesn't really. I always say to him, you're going to be okay with me bringing another mirror in the house, right?
Oh.
You don't like it when I bring a lot of mirrors in. Do you, Matt? Tell them. Why is that?
I just don't like mirrors.
They give you the EBGBs?
They give me the heavy jibbies.
All right, let me, oh, you know, the one thing I didn't do before I started this, learn from me. Don't make the same mistakes I do. When you use these little cheap brushes, they give you beautiful effects, but you also have to know that sometimes what happens, if this is not clipped on very, very tightly, what happens is the brush hairs will let loose, and the very first paint strokes that you do with your paint, you will find them in it. So what I love to do when I first open these is, honestly, what I do is just make sure I do a nice tug at the very end, because if there are any loose bristles, they're going to want to fall out really quickly, right? So this one I didn't do this with, and look, you can still see some right here. You know what? Let's just switch up to a new brush, and that way I don't have to deal with it. But yeah, just do that. And remember, it just cleans up with soap and water, so it's really easy. Love it. Where did the cat go, Matt?
He's adventuring around.
Is he really?
He was checking out what you were doing, then he went away.
Really? He's like not impressed. Like, I totally know how to do that. I totally know how to do that effect. That's really easy, Sonia. He'll be looking at himself later in the mirror. I think that's what he'll be doing. All right. This little piece right here, do you see that frame, Matt?
Yep.
What we're going to have to do is just glue that
Do that
on.
again?
That's probably part of the as-is. Come over here so I can show you real quick.
Yep.
Right here, do you see that? It's like a frame outside here.
It's a frame on a frame.
It is. It's the layers. I'm telling you, man, when you decorate in layers, it just makes things feel so much big and grand and gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is actually grab some glue, and we'll just clamp that corner, and way to go. That's another good thing that I would definitely encourage you guys to have in your toolkit is clamps, because you know, a lot of times you find stuff that just might need a small fix. Now, what about you guys out there? Do you tend to buy furniture that needs help, like needs maybe some carpentry work? Or do you tend to stay to the easy, like let's just grab a brush, go bananas, and paint it and get it done type look? For me, I would much rather just paint. I started off though, I would really, especially when I first started growing my business, what I would do is I would buy pieces that were really cheap, sometimes free, but they needed a lot of work. And you come to learn that free, you know, you get what you pay for, and your time that it takes to actually work with them really started to add up, right? And, you know, I would buy clamps and realize they're not the right size. So before you know it, what you thought was free really starts to add up. So for me, I am somebody who likes to buy pieces and just, you know, go to town with them, because I've also bought pieces. Tell the truth, if you're somebody like this, you've bought a piece and you never even finished it because it needs some carpentry work. Is that you guys out there? Maybe you went to an auction or something like that, and you just, you know, you bring the piece home and it sits in the corner of your garage.
Well,
you never get it done.
It's not like we have things that sit in the corner of our garage or anything.
You talking about me? Not anymore, they don't. Now they get done.
No, as I pan around the
well, that's my painted pretties.
backdrop. Yes.
Yes, that's my painted pretties, man. I'm talking about the brownie frowny stuff that you get from an auction, like a sewing machine. You know what I'm saying? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Oh, what?
I've never brought a sewing machine home going, I am totally going to refinish this and not do anything with it.
What you don't know is this stuff is magically going to appear in Fort Ligonier days.
Right. Are you saying my projects are going to become somebody else's projects?
Yes.
Yes. You know what? Sometimes you do have to move stuff on.
Yes.
If you don't have the time to deal with it, just find somebody else that might.
Well, how else you always need a new backdrop. You know, you got to keep up with the the TV kids and put it. You know, always move. You know, change things.
Dude,
you know?
these pieces are going in my house.
Well, this is
Yeah, as soon as we get like the carpet and stuff. So we bought a new old house for anybody who has not been following us and doesn't know that. So it needs a lot of love, including a lot of carpet that has to come up. And I got to the point where I started painting stuff, because I will always paint stuff till the cows come home. but we're doing it in pieces, and I just don't want to put any furniture down until I get the flooring up. You know what I mean?
My apologies. I got a little froggy frog in my throat.
All right. Froggy frog.
Yeah.
What does that look like to you? Are you liking it?
It looks white. Definitely looks white.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Yes, it looks fabulous.
All right. So let's just make sure we get all the edges. And okay, so let me talk sealer with you guys real quick, right? Because somebody right now is probably saying, Sonia, how do you seal this? Can I tell you something? I'm not going to seal it.
I thought we were going to seal it.
No, we're not going to seal it. Does that mess with you?
I feel like, yes.
No.
You just messed with it.
Listen, as long as you promise not to touch it and not mess with it, then I think we'll be okay.
Okay, but we were going to talk sealer and now we're not.
You want me to talk sealer?
I thought that was the whole point.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to put any on.
No
You know
bother.
what I'm saying?
As Pooh Bear would say.
Yes. All right. Oh, that's
You made me
beautiful.
pull out Pooh Bear. I haven't used Pooh Bear quotes since Riley was young.
Well, for me, when I do a piece like this, honestly, I really don't even need to seal it. And the reason why is it's really more decorative. If I seal it, it would be purely from a decorative perspective to put a finish onto it. Let me go ahead and do this.
Explain what you're doing right there.
All right, I'm straightening up my line, so that's important, all right? So when you put your paint down, sometimes you guys paint and then you'll write in and you're like, why doesn't mine look like yours? Well, if you notice, when I put my paint down, I take the time to go back over it and straighten up my lines. If you're using this paint, you have plenty of time to manipulate it. So by manipulate it, what I mean is sometimes you guys paint and you do short brush strokes like this. Can you see the trail that's left behind? Did you ever see painted stuff and it looks like that? Yeah, right?
Schmutzy.
And I mean, I really over-exaggerate it, but basically that's what it is, right? It doesn't look professional, all right? Tip today.
I gotta speak truth here.
What?
I've seen a lot of people paint
Do that?
way.
It's true.
And it wasn't over-exaggerated. That's the way they paint
So if you take one thing away from this this tutorial today, it's that this here doesn't give you a professional finish, unless you want to go with that sort of really super messy look, right? So I put my paint down, and then what I do with my Junk Monkey paint is take my Chevy chip brush, and you see how I just basically clean those lines up really nice. So one of the goals that you should be working on if you want a nice professional finish is to be able to straighten up your lines, okay? And do that. And so what I do is I imagine each part of, whether it's the side of a dresser, it's the front of a drawer, it's the top of a dresser, do one piece at a time. Get your paint down, stand back, and then honestly straighten up your lines, all right?
That's like magic.
It is. It's a hack, not a hack, it's just a professional painter's tip. I guess that's the word to use. I gotta find my glue as well.
That's not just a tip.
It's a good one, huh?
That's a tippy tip.
Yeah, it is. All right, so the reason why I don't have the seal, now I'll tell you my seal options. Let's talk sealer just a little bit, okay? Especially why this is drying.
No seals were harmed in the production of this video.
It was not. So I'm going to grab a sand block, and I'll also talk to you how I'm going to use this to decorate with.
I thought we weren't.
We're not. We're going to talk about it, dude. It's drying. We're good.
You know,
I said
get
to
nervous.
Matt, Matt's nervous that I'm going to sand off these this beautiful ornate finish. Remember how we showed you how a part of it broke off and exposed the wood? So what I'm saying is if you have a mirror, one of the things that you can do to just, you know, give a distressed look. I got the distressed look with the Shabby chip brush. This is an old, beautiful mirror. I want to preserve as much of that, just the design that's on it as much as possible. But if you want to, you can grab a sand pad. Now, this is why I'm not going to do this on my piece today, because this stuff is so old, it will crack and fall off, okay?
Yes.
So we don't want to do this. If anything, I can
show them that frame right there.
Yeah,
with
go
the
for it, yeah.
fingers.
If anything, what I could do is grab let me see here if I can find something just to kind of show you guys.
So we have a flamingo picture from way back in the day. Kind of Miami. Reminds me of Miami, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But as you can see, when they embellish these old frames with plaster, it cracks and falls off,
Yeah.
and it gets all schmutzy.
They're beautiful though, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
So I don't want this to happen with this, so this is why I'm not going to grab the sand pad. This is a tip instead. I could do a wet distress. A wet distress is when you take something like this. This is just a wet wipe. You know how you get baby's wipes, you get Lysol wipes, get paper towel, just spritz on some water. But basically, while your paint is still wet, you can go ahead and you can wipe off. Okay, come right here a little bit close. You see what I'm saying? So this is a gentle, and a wet distress is good for a piece that you really, you don't want it to break or anything. Just keep turning it over because it will get covered in your paint when your paint is wet, right? So you can knock off as much as you want. You can do the edges if you want down here. There we go. You see that? And then I'm just using my thumb really quickly and going around. So that's a great way to do a distress. Oops, I'm on the inside there. Just keep turning it over and do a nice wipe. So I kind of like that really light distress. I'm probably going to do that with the corners, but honestly, I'm not planning, like I said, to distress too much. Let's just do those 4 corners so they're all even. And I think that would be beautiful. This is the part that I have to be super gentle with. This is the other way. The other thing is when you're doing something like this, it's a great way to get a very light distress. So it just gives you a different look. It's much more faded and it's not rough on your piece, right? But if you were to seal, I would seal this in probably just a poly. A poly like our banana peel. It's a clear, durable, tough coat. It will give you a nice sheen on the very end, which always makes it look polished and very high end as well. But unless this is a piece you're going to eat off of, or it's going to get a lot of wear and tear, your paint's not going to fall off. Now, if people are going to be touching this mirror and that sort of thing, then you are going to want to definitely seal it, all right? Yeah. You could use monkey shine as well, but I like wax and oil with wood.
Yeah, well, the wax thing, too, is this going to be on the wall and,
Yeah. This one's actually going to lean in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm going to use it like a layering piece.
Oh, I'm putting it on the wall.
Really?
You know how I have that thing about putting stuff on the wall?
You want to put it on the wall?
Like TVs and stuff?
Yes. I don't know how you do it. It makes me nervous putting TVs on the wall.
I put everything on the wall. It's mounted.
Nice. So I love how that looks, right? The wet distress would really serve this. The other way I could go to seal it is to use, for example, we have our clear banana peel, but we also have metallics that are suspended as well into poly. We call it we have our champagne, and we also have our silver. I think our champagne is sold out currently, waiting for a restock. Silver would look gorgeous on here as well because it will give it a nice sheen, but it would put a little bit of shimmer, right? Anybody else out there loves shabby rustic glam?
What it looks
it's beautiful. Yeah, actually, that's true. If you look back here, I think I did these in a different color that we have, a different light color.
Lace.
Yep. But you can probably see the difference, but how pretty. You know what? I should put these in the same room together now that I think about it.
That's why you can see the shimmer better from back than up close, right?
Nice.
Oh, there you can see the silver.
Oh, it's so pretty. So what do you guys think? Should I put a shimmer on here? All we would have to do is let it dry, grab our shimmer, and then go to town and just put our coat and let it dry, right? So I can do that if I want. Now, when I put this in a corner mat, this is what I had in mind. You can tell me if you like this or not. Actually, don't tell me.
Here we go.
Don't tell me if you don't like it. Just say, yes, babe, I love it.
She asked my opinion. I feel so special.
All right. I think this will really lighten up. Now, in our house, it's an old Tudor style home from 1890, and it has a lot of beautiful, yes, there is even wood that Sonia will not paint, okay?
There is wood on wood.
There's a lot of just beautiful, solid oak, wood, wainscoting. This is going to be beautiful because in a room that has dark hardwood floors and wainscoting 3/4 up the wall, this will really lighten up a corner, right? Adding metallics, glass, light colors is the quickest way to make a room feel fresh, clean, and really brighten it. So with this in the corner, right, gorgeous, it'll be amazing. But here's how you can also decorate it if you want to bring it into your like really make it feel cozy, especially this time of the year. Who out there loves fall decorating? This is a wreath. If you follow me, you probably saw me make this really quick wreath, like in a half an hour. I found the base. This is a grapevine base. You can go out and you can pull down your own grapevine and shape it if you want. We've done that, haven't we, Matt? Matt probably wants to forget about it, but we did pull down grapevine, amongst other things. You know what I'm talking about, on our head. So
they can't see. They can't see.
They can't see you crying. Is that what you're gonna say?
They can't see laser beam eyes.
Oh. Okay. So I just love the
so
combination
hard right
of things that are painted white or neutral, like a light gray, creams. And I love it when we add something additional, like a grapevine to it. The moment you bring things like twigs, grapevine, or any natural fabrics into your space, we automatically take it to a cozy place, right? So what I'm going to do is actually peel this off when it's dry. I'm going to hang my wreath over the top. You can use a dollar store over the door hanger if you want to do that. You can also make your own, DIY your own. How I would do that is honestly just grab some of my burlap. And just to let you know, burlap comes in a couple different colors. We've got you guys tell me your favorite, okay? So we have got, this is still drying, so you gotta be careful. That's the more, like, what I would call like grungy, very spiced, dark, you know, it looks like potato sack, right? Do you guys know that burlap also comes in this color? Comes in black. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Tell me what's your favorite. There's a light, there's a medium, and there is a dark.
You know what my favorite burlap is?
What is it?
None. Burlap.
Matt always says that he hates the fibers that comes from it. So we're playing in the garage studio today, so it will be all good. But all I would do, guys, is take like some strips. Like, say, for example, these are just 2 strips, and they're not even cut right, okay? They're just scraps. This is why I save my scraps. But honestly, all I can do is just tie scraps together if you don't have a long enough piece and create my own hanger. And all I do is just tie them together like that, all right? Which I kind of like that little shabby knot right there. Let's move this away. We can cut that later and do it correctly. But all I would do is take it, and you can, like, after you put this on, if you want, you can truly put a bow on here. You can do whatever the heck you want. And then all I would do is just pull this over the back and then stick it on the back, all right? And then we would have a nice hanger, and you can put it as low as you want, as high as you want. I think that's super cute. What do you guys think about using your mirror as a layering piece? Let me know what you think below.
You're gonna stick it on there.
I love that. The other thing that I might play with, because it's gonna be white, is getting some plaid ribbon, like a burlap ribbon. Give me a heart below if you think that would be a cool idea. And guys, I would love it if you would take a moment to share this video, because give somebody else out there some ideas to make their home beautiful on a budget, right? And the last thing I'll leave you with, which is just kind of like a different sort of look, is, because I do love me, my Shaggy Swags. These are handmade as well. And so all you would have to do is basically take a little bit of burlap string, go ahead, take some of that burlap. Do you see the burlap that I've put in here, right here, weaved it in? It's beautiful. There's laces in here, it could be anything. And then what you do is you put your mirror up, and then you could, you know, make this as long as you want and do a really cool swag, right? So if you look over here, actually, guys, right behind me, right over here, you want to show them right here? This is one that I draped across my furniture here. I think it is beautiful. So hopefully that gives you some ideas. This is a little bit of polka dot material I have as well, which I do think that, and you tell me, do you think that even this would be kind of cool with it? You know, just some classy polka dots. So it would be beautiful to create a nice hanging, you know, a nice hanger with. Or I could even double it, meaning that I put a little bit of each in here and put it together. But these pieces don't have to be perfect. So yeah, so I'm just gonna be patient, let this dry, and then I can go ahead, put it up in the corner of my dining room. And if you're following us over on Junk Monkey Paint Company, I promise you will go ahead tonight and I'll put up a video so you can see this finalized in all its glory in the corner, when Matt will look at it and be like, oh, that's pretty. I like what you did there. What do you guys think?
Sans burlap.
Sans in burlap?
Sans burlap.
Oh, is that a font?
That's without burlap.
Without burlap? You don't want any burlap? Matt's votes without the burlap. So maybe I will go out and find some of that buffalo plaid. We'll see, okay?
I'm picking today.
We'll see.
We're running a trifecta here. We got a mirror, we got burlap, we got polka dots.
Things of 3, let them be, right?
Everything that, you know.
I love it. And then once this dries, I'll have to decide if I will put on, I might put on some silver shimmer onto it. What do you guys think? Yeah, our metallic paint poly on one. All right, you guys will have to stay tuned so I can post the final reveal. Thank you for hanging out on this very quick, down and dirty DIY that we did today. Hopefully you got some inspiration. Maybe you have a mirror to paint. Honestly, paint a dresser to go with it. Do a whole thing for your space, right? And just do whatever fills your happy bucket and makes you happy.
Your bucket overfloweth.
Overfloweth with happiness and joy. Yep, the power of paint. Say it with me.
My name's Matt.
And I'm Sonia.
And we're
Junk Monkey Paint Company.
That was pretty good.
We didn't we'll work on that.
Yeah, we'll keep that. That was pretty just out of the...
Thank you guys for watching.
All right, remember, home talk. Follow the links below for Junk Monkey Paint.
You got it. Make sure you like this page so that way you can watch all kinds of creators come on here and do their thing, and you guys will get lots of joy and happiness, and your bucket will overflow with all kinds of home and garden ideas. All right, we'll see you guys again next week. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.